hours of the regular show on terrestrial radio, and you wanted a little bit more, so that's why you found the Gun Talk After Show podcast, where we saved all the best things that we can't say on regular radio. Now here's Tom, Michelle, and Jim for the Gun Talk After Show.
If loving guns is wrong, I don't want to be right.
Yes.
Hey, welcome to the After Show. I would say it gets weird around here, but actually it starts out weird. So there it is. Miss Michelle is with us. Jim is with us. Hi, guys.
Hello.
Hi.
So you got a crow. Is that a pet crow, or is he just outside your window there? What's the deal?
Just flying by, evidently.
Just flying by. Hello, crow. You know what we call crows? Targets.
Yeah. Is it a target-rich environment?
It could be.
We have lots of crows.
I grew up calling crows in and hunting, shooting crows.
Oh, yeah.
It used to be a big deal. Oklahoma, man, they would kill them by the thousands. God, thousands.
Well, they use crow calls for all different kinds of hunting purposes.
This is true. Mm-hmm. You never know. You could get, like, nosy neighbors come in to find out what's going on.
Well, then there's that.
Yeah, well, you're not going to shoot the neighbors. You just kind of draw them in.
Thank you.
Okay, I got to tell you, this is fun. During the show today, during one of the commercial breaks, I see this woman appear at the back on the deck of the back. It's one of our neighbors, and she has something in her hand. And it's a commercial break. I said, "What's going on?" She says, "We just picked some huckleberries." She comes in and leaves them on the kitchen counter and leaves.
Gotta go.
So there you got to go. Okay, that'll work. Living off the land. There you go.
And your neighbors are so hard to get along with, by the way.
Yeah, I know. What a bunch of people you put up with. Jim was just out here visiting, so he got to meet some of the folks here. It's a pretty cool place.
Thank you.
Hey, before we get to going too far here, I know we got Lee on hold here, and I don't know how long he's going to put up with us. Nobody else will. So there's that. Let's talk. Hey, Lee, you there?
Yeah.
Okay. How can we help you today?
Have you got any good recipes for crow?
I don't think there is such a good thing as a good recipe for crow.
Have you ever heard of Herder's Cookbook?
I'm old enough to remember Herders.
Now, what you will find is a songbird pie in Herders.
Ooh. Yeah.
Now, what you really have to do, I have a Herder's Cookbook. You have to get a hold of one. You will be overjoyed.
Well, I will tell you that in the old days in Louisiana.
Especially from Louisiana, they have special parts about Louisiana in the Herder's Cookbook.
I was just going to say, the old folks in South Louisiana used to eat robins by the hundreds.
I'm not sure that's legal anymore.
It wasn't then either.
Okay.
That did not slow them. One guy got arrested. They finally said, okay, that's too much. He had 2,000 robins, dead robins.
What?
Oh, yeah. So it's a different world.
How many? Oh, God. How many muskrats does it take to make a meal, according to Herders?
How many?
One is too many.
3?
3. I asked my brother-in-law that question, and he looked at me and he said, 3. He'd read Herders.
Lord. All right, so tell me about this rifle you got. What's going on here?
Well, it was before the last election, and I was running around the gun show in a panic like everybody else, because we thought we were going to get the beauty queen. And I'm no longer from Arkansas. Nice. I just owned Arkansas a while back. And I think I'm ready to rejoin, though. Anyway, I picked up this rifle. I thought they said we don't have packaging because we've got to travel, and we travel with them like this. And what somebody had bought was a lower from Spikes, and it was an ST something or other. And I thought I was getting a complete rifle. Well, I take it home, clean it, look, and I look it up on the internet, and this is just a built rifle from probably who knows where the parts are from. I don't know what the head spacing's like. And one thing that caught my attention is, okay, I got beat. I figured that. Because the prices of ARs have gone down, I paid a little more because I thought it was going to be shot-peened, hard-chromed, and embedded. I didn't know about the embedded with molybdenum. That's what Spikes is supposedly, but what I got was a piece of junk put together, evidently, and the Magpul magazine will not lock open on the last round, but a metal magazine will. And I'm looking through my military manuals, and they're just saying it's either weak or worn. But the metal is working, but the mag pull will not lock open. It will feed, but it will not lock open after the last round.
Okay, so what are you looking for? What's the question?
I want to fix it so that the mag pull magazines will function properly in the blower.
Do you have a lot? Question: do you have a lot of mag pull mags?
Yes.
Okay, Michelle, do you think changing the follower would help with that?
Maybe, but what about changing out the mag latch?
Yeah.
This is brand new. The metal works perfectly.
Yeah, but still. Yeah, but.
Yeah, but.
Yeah.
You know, here's the thing. The good news is it's an AR-15, and everything, and I do mean everything, is replaceable.
Right.
So, you know, if it were a bolt-action rifle and it was a piece of junk, you wouldn't have that many options. But in this case, you could take it down to the stripped lower and work your way back if that's where you had to go or wanted to. But in this case, and look, I don't know. I don't know why it won't stay open with the Magpul mags. I'm thinking maybe if change of follower, maybe a change of. Are these older Magpuls or are these new Magpuls?
These are brand new out of the package. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
And I have the metal magazines. I have some where they're down towards shiny copper. They work. New metal magazines work.
Don't know.
I'm wondering if he's got a buddy that has an AR-15, if he could, try the mags in there and see if it's the same problem, and at least try to rule out.
That's a good thought. Is it a magazine issue or is it a rifle issue? Have you tried those mags in another rifle?
Yeah, I have actually, it's a pre-Remington. I have a Bushmaster. They all work fine.
Okay, well, that narrows it down.
All right.
Yeah, my guess is.
So now we're down to the.
My guess is because it came with the metal magazine, they already knew the mag pools weren't functioning.
Right.
Because you would, if you were building a new one, you would buy a mag pool magazine. Most people.
Right.
Yeah.
So my guess is try those. I mean, it's inexpensive, and so many people make these parts, and if it's not put together correctly, or if somebody got in there to fine tune it, quotation marks.
Right.
They could have easily honed away some of the working mechanisms. So that would be an easy place to start. A new mag latch or follower or whatever it might be, or take it to a gunsmith. Right. Take it to your local gunsmith.
Take it to a gunsmith. You could go to Brownells has like a gazillion videos on all of this on. Fine tuning and fixing and putting together your AR. You might find some information there. Or call the guys at Brownells.
Exactly.
If you don't have a local gunsmith.
Mm-hmm. My gunsmith's retired.
Call Brownells.
You might call the guys at Brownells. They've got gun techs
Brownells
right
phone
there.
number, sir?
Oh, let me see. I'll look it up. Brownells.com.
I bet you have it off the top of your head.
No, I don't. I don't remember my own number. I don't remember. With our cell phones, we don't have to remember phone numbers anymore, do we?
I know. It's weakened our minds.
You remember when you used to know all the phone numbers, and now you don't know anybody's phone number?
Oh, remember when you used to dial Dunkirk and Woodward?
Hobart 567. I remember those days. I'm aging myself. Oh, Lord. But get a herder's cookbook off the internet. You can get a herder's book. You're going to laugh. You can read this. It'll be part of the show. You can read these recipes and talk people.
Okay, here's a question. Do you remember the Herder's Wasp waste bullets?
I have heard something of Herder's cartridges, yes.
They had a bullet for reloading. They called it the Wasp waste. And if I remember right, I think it was like skinnier in the middle. I may be wrong on it. Somebody will have to correct me. But, Herder's was like the weirdest catalog of goofy stuff. But it was pretty cool, and it was all affordable. It was pretty affordable stuff.
What was the name of that critter, like the muskrat?
Nutria.
That's right. You could have 3 muskrats or 1 nutria for a meal. There you go. I like that.
Getting into rodents. Well, I don't think now.
All right. I've got this phone number for Brownells, by the way. Okay, you ready for it?
Yeah, I'm ready. I've got a pen even.
All right, cool. 800-741-0015.
Okay.
Very good.
All right, thank you.
Look, I wish you luck with it. We got to keep rolling here because I got to go find a Herds catalog and got to get at least 3 muskrats so we can have something for dinner. Lee, thank you so much for your call. I appreciate it. That was really fun. Take care, guy. All right, so now we know if you're now. Here's a question: Is it 3 muskrats for one person, or does that take care of like a dinner party?
I'm good without. I'll pass.
It gives a whole new meaning to the phrase eating crow.
Oh, we can have yours, is what you're saying.
Yeah, and you can have the crow.
And the crow. Oh, my goodness.
Oh.
Okay, well, while I go try to find a herder's catalog, we'll take a quick break, and then we'll come back.
Brownells has gone retro. Check out Brownells' new line of retro AR-15 and AR-style 308 rifles at brownells.com/retro. Whether you're looking for Eugene Stoner's original 308 design, the famous M16A1, Air Force 601, or the XM177 carbine, Brownells has the classic, new production, old school rifle of your dreams. Own the firearm you used in basic training, carried in service, or that Grandpa always talks about. See more at brownells.com/retro.
Tactical professionals who put their lives on the line every day depend on Surefire. Since 1979, Surefire has designed, machined, and assembled the finest flashlights, weapon-mounted lights, hearing protection, and suppressors right here in the U.S. Surefire, offering a best-in-class warranty and customer service, and used by more military special operations, SWAT teams, and hard-use end users than any other brand. Surefire, American-built, American-strong. Visit Surefire.com. That's Surefire.com.
All right, we're back, and I am quickly trying to do a search for herders.
You know, Tom, most people don't want to eat crow.
I've had to on a few occasions. I'm going
to say, I've done it enough where I've kind of developed a taste for it now. It's like, yeah, you can put up with anything long enough. Holy cow. Oh, man. Yeah, Herders was a mail-order house. When they went out of business, probably 20, it's that old deal. If I think it was 20, it was 35 years ago.
Right.
So, I mean, that's the way stuff is these days. So, anyway, Jim, what you been doing?
Oh, nothing. Just took a quick jaunt out to Idaho and, had it put up with the scenery and the company.
And you tried to poke out your eye.
I did. I tried to poke out my eye because I figured I had another one. Why not? Got a scratch cornea on the final day there. So that was interesting, but we worked around it.
Yeah, it worked out fine.
It wasn't your shooting eye, was it?
Yeah, that's why I'm so lousy. That's what it was.
You'll shoot your eye out.
Yeah, I've seen it happen.
You scratch your eye out with that.
It was gorgeous. It was prettiest part of the country. I mean, I've seen the whole country, but that is just right. It's got everything. It's got water. It's got mountains. It's got plains and valleys, and it's got a fly-in breakfast place, Sulphur Creek Ranch,
and it's got Tom.
Baby, it's got Tom. Yeah. So there was a downside, but we.
We did some fishing. Okay, I got to tell you, his lovely daughter went from "I don't want to touch a worm" to "Give me those worms. I want some more fish" in about 30 minutes. Once she started catching fish, it was "I don't care about those worms anymore. I want fish."
That's awesome.
Yeah,
it was great.
She had a blast.
You see a teenager jump on that,
Yeah, great life experience because she's a city girl. There's no doubt about it. And, and she loved the first plane ride.
Anymore.
Yeah, so
not anymore. I mean, she goes away saying, "Well, there any places to fish when we get back home?" So, it's that same old deal. It's like we talk about. If you introduce them to it the right way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And the best part, I thought, was actually not that she enjoyed it, but what she said, if you caught that, she said, "When we go home, is there any way you could take my friends and I out fishing?" I'm going, "Yeah, baby." So now she's an ambassador.
That's a win.
Yeah. So she had a blast.
And to move that forward, it happens exactly the same way with shooting.
Mm-hmm.
If I always tell people, if you're going to have somebody, particularly a teenager or somebody just a little bit preteen, and you're going to introduce them to shooting, have them bring a friend.
Have them have success. There's the key.
It's the success, of course, but having a friend there changes the experience. It's not, "Oh, gee, Dad's teaching me this stuff," or somebody, blah, blah, blah. No, I'm there with my buddy or my girlfriend or whatever, and they start having fun and they have this shared experience. I don't know exactly how to put it, Michelle, but it's like they're having an experience and you are kind of ancillary to the whole thing. As opposed to them going and doing something with you. And when you're a teen or preteen, going out and doing something with the adult may not be the thing they want to do.
Totally uncool.
Make it fun. Yeah, totally uncool. Exactly. That's pretty much it, isn't it? That's the deal right there.
I thought one of the ironic things was, you've got the lake's gorgeous, right? And you've got fish like crazy. And you've got guys that have been fishing their whole lives, and they're telling you, oh, go by this spot here and over by those rocks here, guaranteed. Where'd we catch them, Tom?
Off the dock.
And they were decent size. They weren't little
Off the dock. We're snatching fish. We're fishing between the boats. They're tied up on the dock. And the boats that people used to go miles across the lake to try to find a fish, their boats are tied up on top of the fish.
Oh, it's the best place.
Can't see the forest for the trees.
Right.
Yeah, drop a kelly worm. It'll get them.
It was great. So, yeah, big old squirmy worms. It's that old getting them out there. I like it, Jim, when you talk about get them some success. We talk about in fishing, people who are just starting at fishing don't really like fishing. What they like is catching fish.
Mm-hmm.
And we can take that and put it right back on shooting. Shooting is not what they like. Hitting stuff is what they like.
So there was money well spent to pay that scuba diver to hook fish onto her hook for her.
Oh, nice.
Well, yeah.
It was a little deceptive, but it paid off.
That's right. She kept saying, do fish always make that many bubbles?
The key was to not pull too hard on the hook, right?
Before he got it on there, yeah. But, when shooting, start them up close. Make sure the targets are big. Make sure it's easy.
And one thing I didn't find in Idaho was a woman to marry that could out me publicly about being a concealed carry holder.
Oh, my gosh. Oh, was that the weirdest thing?
Why would you? I mean, you think you would have screened somebody, and it didn't sound like this was a first date. It sounded like ongoing relationship.
He said it was his girlfriend.
Yeah.
This wasn't like exactly. No, this is his girlfriend. And I kept getting emails while this is going on. People saying, well, I've introduced a lot of women to shooting. I'm thinking, that's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about a person who he has an ongoing relationship with who continually tries to ridicule and belittle him in front of their friends by calling out the fact that he's a gun guy and saying he's like insecure or whatever with that.
See, she should go home and think about that because honestly, he's a gun guy. She's not. Just ensures her safety.
Yeah, but there are a lot of people who think they are less safe when anybody around them has a gun if they're not wearing a uniform.
Right. With all
they really don't think that there's any safety benefit to having a gun. And they actually think it's just pretty darn weird that you would have a gun for your own protection.
So I guess the question is, one, has he ever taken her out? Which I assume no, or he maybe has proposed it and she has said no. I mean, how do you know? But yeah, that passive aggressive, that's not going to get any better the further in you get into a relationship. That's not going to be forgiven.
Yeah.
Well, it's like, yes, this is not going to be fixable. It's like the women who, date men that are basically messed up. And they think, but I'll fix him once we get married.
Right.
Yeah, that always works.
Yep.
Yeah.
No.
Actually, we were talking about being outed, and I had that happen to a friend of Tom Hennig here, and I have a friend's wife who tried to do that, or she did do it to me. And we mentioned it after show years ago, but we can talk about it after the commercial here. I'll kind of give you the take on how I handled it, and you can tell me, your opinion on how I should have handled it, or etc. But it was very unnerving. So we can talk about that.
I can't wait to find out. Tell you, quick break here. We'll get the whole story just a sec. If you're like me, you don't have money to burn, but you still want to buy guns, ammo, and accessories. That's why we created Gun Dealio. That's a free smartphone app. Just download it and start getting the deals. Could be discounts, offers of free magazines for your gun, or you could be the first to hear about new stuff from gun makers. Here's how it works. With Gun Dealio on your phone, you get alerts when you enter a gun store. Special deals, You don't have to do a thing. It'll do a lot of other cool things, like let you watch gun videos and listen to Gun Talk podcast. Plus, check it anytime for hundreds of deals and offers. Getting more while spending less. Smart, huh? Gun Dealio. Made in America. gluten-free at the App Store and Google Play or gundealio.com. All right, so Jim teased us, Michelle, with this story. Well, first of all, let me back up. For those who just maybe didn't hear it, we had a caller earlier in the show today who said that his girlfriend, not like first date, but his girlfriend continued to, as he put it, out him that he was a concealed carry guy. When they would go into social situations, she would find a snide and I call it mean way of saying, well, he carries a gun. He's one of those insecure guys, or, he's working with this fantasy of that he could help people, yada, yada. It was just passive aggressive. But Jim, you said somebody you knew that happened to him.
It's funny, as you just recapped the story, Tom Manning's giving the thumb out like you umpire. She's out of here. How true.
Well, yeah. I think that's what I told him, right?
Yeah.
Dump her.
Yeah, dump the girl. We were at a restaurant bar. This is, I don't know, a year or two ago, I think about a year back. And having dinner, and my buddy showed up with his wife, who I'd never met, but I met her that night. And we were talking a little bit, and she says, "Oh, you're Jim Kenzie. You're the guy that carries a gun everywhere and tells other people they should." And I said, "Yep." And she's standing pretty close to me. And she goes, "Oh, you got a gun on you?" And there's 25 people on this patio. Right. She goes, "Oh, you got a gun on you right now?" And she leans over to backhand me to tap my pocket. And so I just turned my body so, where she hit me was more on the buttocks than where my pistol was. And I just said, "Hey, I'm going to get some drinks. I'll be right back." And just walked out. I never came back. Because there was no sense having a confrontation with her, trying to educate her, anything else. Right. It just didn't make sense to perpetuate that. I'm all ears on other ways to have handled that. I couldn't believe she did it. And her husband's pro-gun. He shot here a number of times. And he was kind of like sinking in his chair, she said, because it wasn't like casual conversation. She wanted people around to know that I'm a gun guy and I probably have one.
She's trying to embarrass you in front of everybody, and yeah, okay, so that same deal. It's that mean passive aggressive deal. Right. So you could have just gone. One option would have been to go all Mike Tyson on her.
Right. Would have throat punched her, but that's bad form.
Yeah, well, at least before you got your drink, you got to that. So.
Right. And I wasn't drinking that night anyway, so I was legally carrying for all you wannabe attorneys out there. It was just weird. It was like time to go, and I don't have to announce that I'm leaving. Just don't come back.
You could have just gone with, "And what's your point?" I mean, I like to throw a question at them, so basically throw them on the defensive. What's your point? Right. Yeah, I carry a gun everywhere I go.
But the physical reaching out part has really set me off.
Sure. I agree. I think turning away and just saying, and here's the other part. Remember, I've said all the time that it's not a sin to tell a lie to someone who's not entitled to know the truth. And I'll just say, "No, I'm not carrying today."
Right.
Because, yeah.
But
you know what? If I got an AR-15 over my shoulder and they can see it, no, I'm not carrying today.
And I could have gone that route, but it's like, I really don't want to be. I mean, just met you. I really like your husband. He's a good guy, fellow musician. We're pretty tight. I didn't want to socialize with her after that. I saw nothing of value.
It was a fine way to handle it. You extricated yourself from the situation. You diffused it, made it go away. I don't know. What do you think, Michelle?
Fast forward a year. What's happened now?
Haven't talked to her since, and her husband bought a motorcycle, and we ride together, and he and I just don't discuss it. He was embarrassed that his wife would do that.
Right.
But she's one of these people that wants to go at it with anybody that's different than her, and politically we're different also, go figure. So
okay, well, so you were the lesser, you were the other. You were the conservative.
Right,
the knuckle dragging, mouth breathing, Cro-Magnon.
Right. And if it wasn't guns, it would have been abortion or some other topic just to argue.
Something, yeah. Right. Okay, so she just wanted to fight. And
nice to meet you.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think probably the way you handle it's probably just fine. As you say, move away so that you can't, field your gun, first of all. Another thing is, honestly, and I think more people need to take training in weapon retention, because one of the things it does is that if somebody bumps into you or starts to feel like they're trying to touch your gun, your reactions are immediate. And, I mean, you can grab somebody's hand or wrist. Of course, you've had enough martial arts training to say, no, don't do that. In your case, I don't think it would have been appropriate, but there are other times when it probably is.
I'm not sure it was appropriate for her to even try to do that.
It wasn't, but
but nothing she did was appropriate.
No, not at all.
Well, the beauty of it was when I turned, she grabbed my butt, so it made her look like she was hitting on me.
There you go. Yeah.
But that brings up another thing, though. Internet dating, right? Why not put right in your profile that I'm pro-gun, this, that, the other thing, because you're going to weed out the people that aren't right away. And why put yourself and them through the whole thing?
Just avoid the situation on the front end. Yeah, no, I agree. Just put it out there, and that way you just get rid of it. You say, love to take long walks on the beach with my AR-15. I mean, there it is, people. I'm just saying,
Your ideal evening, a glass of wine, dinner, and some reloading.
That's right.
That's great.
I don't believe in long-distance relationships, but I do believe in long-range shooting.
There you
go. This could go, I was going to say it could go weird, but I think we passed that point some time ago.
Yeah, we have some standards to keep up,
They're pretty low, but there they are.
They're there, yeah.
That's right. Oh, well, okay. So I'm going to go alter all of my online dating profiles now.
Yeah. Let me know what the wife says about that.
Yeah, exactly.
She'll be too keen.
Must not use a potato towel baker. What do you do, Tom?
And since my wife has been to Thunder Ranch and trained with Clint Smith and has her own guns, so, yeah, we don't do that. Ever.
She had a spud aversion.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, goodness.
Speaking of spuds. You go to Idaho, right?
You have to tell the story.
This is cute.
Go ahead and tell the story.
I'll make it quick. My daughter wanted to bring back an original Idaho potato for a friend of hers because they were ribbing her. Oh, going to Idaho? What's in Idaho, right? It's not Disneyland. Why are you going to Idaho? So she will bring me a potato. So she said, hey, can we stop at the supermarket here in town and get a potato? I said, honey, you can get an Idaho potato back in town that has a sticker on it that says grown in Idaho. No, it's not the same, Dad. I said, okay, so we'll stop. So Tom stopped for us and got a potato. And we're going through TSA.
Gosh.
And they delayed us about 20 minutes. We laughed through the whole thing. It was like, yeah, go ahead. And they watch you. TSA, I don't know if you folks realize this, but they'll ask you some questions about how's your day, what'd you do here. And they don't really give a darn. They're trying to feel you out to see if you're shaky or nervous, whatever.
They're watching reactions.
Right. They're people reading. So we're laughing as they're checking her bag and they're going through it, and it's going to be a while. You folks might want to take a seat. Okay. And
potato.
And I brought home some sage, which is in a Ziploc. And if there's anything that ever looked like a drug transfer, you would think it's that, right? Nope. Scoots right through.
No from sagebrush.
Yeah, it's from sagebrush. No problem. Scoots right through. They don't even question that. She's got a tactical potato. And they just ran her up and down and made her take her shoes off again. It's great. And then you explain what you thought, what they could have, misconstrued it as, which I get, but it's funny.
But at some point in time, they opened the bag.
Oh yeah, they went through everything, and pulled it out, and they looked at the potato like, really? One potato? It's just a potato.
But it's an Idaho potato.
Right.
That's right. That's when you start going, one potato, two potato, three potato more.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Tom, you explained why they could have thought it was a chunk of explosive or whatever.
Sure.
It could be. I get it.
It could be modeling clay or something that's like modeling clay. Yes.
Right. It was just humorous. It's one of those deals that you're going to get upset and start threatening the agent. What are you? You're delaying our trip. It's like whatever, man. Have at it.
The great potato caper.
Right.
Well, gents and lady, we're going to have to call it quits because I'm getting notices on my phone that says stop.
It's dinner time.
It's just stop. No, you guys have used enough words now. That's what it's saying. So
word quota.
We've used all of them. That's right. So there it is. Well, I don't know. I'm going to stew on this whole dating thing because that was just a weird deal. I hope, and it was funny. I was getting texts from friends who are listening while we're doing it on the show, and they're saying, dump her.
Yeah, I think he was taken back by your reply.
Yeah, it like came out of left field to him. Yeah.
Well, because there was such a long hesitation, and
he's I never thought that part.
Well, I mean,
But she's
she's
cute.
mean, and here's the thing: when she does that, she's saying, "I don't like you. I don't share your values, and I don't value you and your decisions." That's all of that is wrapped up in what she just did.
I like you, but there's this one thing.
Yeah, but you're a moron,
But that's
and
a
I'm
huge
going
part
to
of your life.
ridicule you to my friends. That's real contempt. When you say, "I'm going to publicly embarrass you every time we go out," that's a level of contempt that you're not going to fix.
See, now there would have been the classic Jim Kenzie move. Say, get up, I'm going to use the men's room and never come back.
And just never come back.
Leave her with
yeah,
the tab.
oh, yeah, leave her with the bill too. That's right. We're going to walk out on that too. Classy. All right.
Alrighty, guys.
Guys, we will do this again next week. Michelle, thank you so much, as always.
Yes, thank you.
Alrighty. James,
Yes, sir.
it was almost fun.
It was near fun, I refer to it as.
Near fun. I like it.
Thanks
We'll do
for
it again
having
next
me.
week. Take care.
See ya.
Bye.
Well, that wraps up another Gun Talk after show. But if you want even more gun-related stuff, don't forget to check out Gun Dealio. It's the app for Apple and Android phones that connects you to all the Gun Talk shows, plus even more. And we'll catch you next time for the Gun Talk after show.